In my 30s, I was full on and I had a career and I put 100% into it. At the time, it was great and I had all this energy. I managed to balance. It seemed like 100 things at one time. And I coped and it was great and I enjoyed myself. And now I'm reaping the benefits of that, of all that hard work. But in my early to mid 40s, I started to feel a little bit burnt out. I couldn't manage as many tasks at once as I used to be able to manage. I was getting overwhelmed, I was getting emotional, and again, that might be an age thing, but I was struggling a little bit. Now in my 50s, I can look back and see what happened. I did have all this energy when I was younger, and it was great. As I said, I'm reaping the benefits now of all that hard work. But in my 40s, I realised that I was missing out on things. I was putting work as my number one priority. I don't think that was the right thing to do looking back. I was working all hours and it suited me at the time. I managed to juggle everything, but it caught up with me in my mid 40s and I was overwhelmed and it was too much. So I had to step back. Now in my 50s, I am reaping the benefits of all that hard work, which is great. It's given me the opportunity now to slow down, and I'm so grateful for it. And now I'm embracing slow productivity. It's not about being lazy, it's about being meaningful and thinking about what you're doing or what you want to do and making the most of it. It's like a mind shift. You prioritise things that are important to you, that you want to do, and you do them meaningfully. And instead of trying to do as many things at once or achieving these super big goals that I used to be able to achieve, now it's about slowing down and giving myself smaller goals and achieving them in my own time. And that seems to suit me a lot better now. It's a mind shift. It kind of encourages us to work at a slower pace, a more creative pace, to think about what we're doing so that things mean more to us and we get more enjoyment out of them. When you're in a constant rush, it has an effect mentally and physically on our bodies. Personally, I was getting headaches, I was getting stress knots in my chest. I hope that's all it was. I was consistently comparing myself to other people, wanting to strive for more. Whatever I achieved was not good enough and I had to keep going. I was comparing myself to others. I wanted the things that other people had. And at the time, it did work because I did achieve a lot and I got what I wanted. But it did have that physical and mental effect on me in a negative way. If you're too focused on the outcomes, on the goals, you seem to miss the journey. You miss the process and you miss life as it's happening around you. You're always striving for something that's not happened yet. And you miss those little things. Looking back now that my children have grown up, I realise I could have spent a lot more time in the moment with them. That's something I can't get back. So one of the biggest things I've learned since getting older is what my strengths and my weaknesses and my limitations are. And I used to think that being slow or not being driven was a weakness. But I think now it's a strength. It makes you appreciate what's around you and the life that you've got. And as I've got older, I think as anyone gets older, you realise that life gets shorter and shorter and you do have to appreciate everything you've got. In our house, we have a wall of pictures of our children when they were little. And we look back and think, goodness, I wish I could be in that moment again and enjoy that moment with them. It does make me appreciate now, though, that I do need to enjoy every moment that I've got with them. When you realise that you don't need to constantly strive for a big goal or constantly have to be as good as or better than others, it feels like a weight's been lifted off your shoulders. It's like you find your own rhythm of doing things, and that the value doesn't come from what you achieve. It's just being, without again sounding too corny. It's just about being in the process of doing things. We set ourselves up for impossible standards and perfection, and that's not always realistic. Right now, my little dog is playing with her toy right behind me. I would normally think, gosh, I've got to cut that out of the video, but that's just life. That's just what happens, I think, in everyday life. These are the benefits that I found of slow productivity. My mental health. When you're not constantly rushing, trying to achieve something, your mind slows down, and that gives you more space to be more creative and to live in the moment and to appreciate things that are around you. And on the back of that, increase focus, because when you've not got 10 things on your mind, it helps you to focus on the 1 or 2 things that you are doing, and you do them better and you enjoy yourself while you're doing those. Physically, I feel better as well. I don't have constant headaches. I don't have constant stress. I can relax easier. I sleep better, which is great as you get older. And the slower you seem to do things within reason, the more sustained that success seems to be. And without burning myself out, I feel that I can achieve things better, slower, at a slower pace, but more thoroughly. And again, I enjoy the things that I'm doing in the process. And so many people do say this, but the joy in the journey, and I know it sounds corny, but it's true. It's not about always looking to the future and thinking what's happening next. It's about enjoying what's around you. And again, as I've gotten older, I appreciate that a lot more. My parents are in ill health at the moment, and that's made me realise that that's going to be me soon. Hopefully not too soon. But I need to slow down, and I need to appreciate what I've got at the moment and enjoy the process, enjoy what's around me. So these are a few things that I've found help me to slow down. Again, excuse the little dog in the background, she's playing with her toy. Well, that's okay. Prioritising quality over quantity. Not choosing 10 things to do. Choosing maybe 1, 2, 3 things if you want to, and doing them right, doing them slowly, and enjoying the process of doing them. Taking breaks and being nice to yourself, being kind to yourself, having a cup of tea when you feel like it, having a chill when you feel like it. A big one is to stop comparing yourself to other people. It's a really big one. I don't know whether it's ingrained in our society or ingrained in certain people, but I've always been like that. But when I stop comparing myself to other people and realise I'm quite happy and I've got what I want to, then it really takes the weight off my shoulders. And the more I focus on what I do rather than what other people do, the happier I feel. And now that I haven't got huge big goals, I have little goals, I can celebrate small wins. Even a little step towards a little goal, I can congratulate myself, say well done, you're on the right path, and you've made a small little win. It's about celebrating the small steps along the way. I've created lots of boundaries. When I was younger, I did have the energy. It seemed like unlimited energy, unlimited resources to do as much as I could do, and I would be so busy. As I said, I got overwhelmed. But now I set boundaries. If I don't want to do something, I won't do it, and I'll say no. Also, just not having to give an excuse for saying no. Just to say, no, thank you, but not at the moment. I feel comfortable just saying no. I also look back on things that I'm doing and things that are working and things that are not working. If I'm on a path and I'm trying to achieve a little goal and it's just not working, I'll stop and I'll think, what's going wrong? So it's kind of a reflection on what I'm doing, and I'll change path if I have to. I'll change my course and I'll do something different if something isn't working. Another biggie is embracing rest. It's not something that I ever used to do. I used to be 100% on the go all the time, but now I'll slow down and I'll take a rest if that's what my body tells me to do. It's about living with a bit more intention, a bit more joy. I do wish I'd embraced it when I was younger, but I do appreciate looking back that my younger self gave me the opportunities that I've got now and gave me the lifestyle that I've got now. So I don't regret it. I just think maybe I should have been a little bit more aware of it when I was younger so I didn't burn out. I'm just grateful that I found it now in this stage of life. If you're feeling overwhelmed or stressed, try slowing down. It sounds so simple. I appreciate it's not. It took me a long time for me to appreciate it and to slow down and to be productive slowly. If you've got any comments or tips about how you embrace slow productivity, let me know in the comments.